How are you today? I hope you had a fabulous day today. Are you ready for our story time? What story are we going to read today? Huh, there is something called Patch's Lucky Star. Let's try this one. Patch's Lucky Star. All right. Huh. Okay. Patch was a pretty little turtle who lived by the pond. She was as quiet, as careful as a turtle could be. Most turtles her age romped along the shores of the pond all day, but Patch did not. Patch looked just like any other young turtle she knew, except for one thing. She had a yellow patch on the outside of her shell. Patch was the only turtle in the pond to have such a shell. It's such an odd shell for a turtle to have, Patch thought to herself. It's not odd, dear, Patch's mother would tell her often. It's just different. It makes you special, Patch. Actually, this is very important. It's not odd, it's just different. So when you see somebody who looks a little different than you are, it does not mean that they are odd. They are just different. It makes them special, and you are special too. Patch didn't want to be special. She just wanted a normal shell. So everyone would stop looking at her patch. Patch would hide away most of the day among the tall grasses around the pond. Sometimes she would creep and crawl to her favorite spots on the pond, but only when she was sure there was nobody around. Most days, Patch just tucked herself inside her shell and stayed there. Patch liked staying inside her shell very much. Inside it was dark and quiet. Inside Patch could be all alone. Inside Patch could be herself without worrying what other turtles would think. Patch didn't have to worry about getting splashed by frogs or being sniffed by bigger animals that came to drink from her pond. And if any of the other animals were looking at her odd shell, Patch did not want to see their stares. Most of all, though, she did not want to have to look at her own shell. She thought the big yellow patch was terrible. In fact, she thought it made her whole shell look terrible. So Patch stayed inside her shell where she did not have to see it or anything else. Patch stayed there and daydreamed the day away. In her thoughts, she would stick her head out proudly and walk in the flower patch. Patch would go from flower to flower like a bee and smell the wonderful smells. From the darkness of her shell, Patch always imagined she had great adventures. She saw herself zipping and diving from shore to shore like a dragonfly. One day, Diamond and Snapper walked by Patch's hiding place. She hoped the two young turtles would not notice her, but they came up and tapped on her shell. Patch, they called, come exploring with us. Patch stayed very still in her shell. Soon they went away. Patch pretended she went exploring with them. She thought about finding a cool, shady place where she could slide down a great big log and splash into the pond. Later that day, Patch heard her mother's voice outside her shell, poking her head out. Patch was surprised to see Diamond and Snapper's mother there too. Have you seen Diamond or Snapper? Patch's mother asked. They have been gone for hours. They went exploring, Patch told her. Diamond and Snapper's mother shook her head. We will have to go looking for those too, she said. It's getting dark. You stay here, Patch, her mother said. You don't need another lost turtle. Patch shivered, glad she had stayed inside her shell. She thought it must be scary to be lost on the pond at night. Then she saw that the stars were starting to glitter in the dark sky. If only my shell could shine as brightly as the stars, she thought aloud. I wouldn't mind my Patch so much. As Patch sighed, she heard Diamond and Snapper calling for their mother. Their mother called back, relieved to hear their voices again. Mom! Snapper! Diamond! Mom! Snapper! Diamond! Their voices were coming closer to Patch's place on the shore. Patch quickly ducked back into her shell. Soon it seemed that all the turtles were just outside, huddled around her. Everyone was talking all at once. We kept going in circles, Snapper said. Everything looked the same in the dark, added Diamond. But then we saw Patch's bright yellow patch all the way across the pond. We followed it all the way back, said Snapper. Thank goodness for that patch, their mother said. If you ever get lost again, Diamond and Snapper's mother said, be sure you follow the North Star. She pointed up to the brightest star in the sky. We don't need the North Star, Mom, Snapper said. We have got our own star right here on the shore, and it is the brightest star on the pond. That's for sure, said Diamond, and they pointed at the star on Patch's shell. Patch, her mother said, they are talking about your special shell. Patch was so happy. Her shell couldn't hold her. She popped out and looked back at her patch. In the moonlight, it did shine brightly. Tomorrow Patch would come out again to see just how much it really did shine. She hoped her star would shine all the time. The end. Okay. Now, do you agree that Pat should have hidden like this in her shell instead of playing with other turtles and living the world and enjoying herself and exploring? Just because she was embarrassed by something that she didn't have control over, which is how her shell is designed. And it turns out that the star or the patch, actually they called her patch because her shell had a patch. The patch was the shape of the star. And at the end she came out because she learned that this patch or star on her shell brights like it brights like the star in the sky. And you know what? It's very, very true that the thing that is different in us, the thing that we sometimes feel embarrassed by, is the thing that shines the most in us. Not because it draws attention and we don't want this attention, no, but it's something so beautiful and so needed. We just don't know it and we don't use it when we keep hiding from it and feeling embarrassed by it. So today, I want you to look for the one thing that is so different about you, so special in you, and just be happy of it. Be proud of it. Okay, do not shy away from it. Do not dislike it. Do not be embarrassed by it, whatever it is. Okay, because this is the thing that will make you shine even more. Okay, you are amazing. You are smart. You are lovable, and I love you. And you can do anything you want in your future, and you can be anyone you wish in the future. And you can create all the future that you want. I love you, I love you, I love you. Now, let's do our sing-along. Ready? You have good voice today or a voice like mine? No matter what, let it shine. Okay, now we are holding hands with the kids from all around the world and we are chanting for our love to always shine on and to always shine strong. Let your love shine on, for we are the stars in the sky. Let your love shine strong until the day we fly. Let your love shine on, for we are the stars in the sky. Let your love shine strong until the day we fly. Thank you very much for being with me here today. I'll see you again tomorrow with another story. And for now, have a good night, sleep tight, and sweet dreams. I love you this much and more. Have a good night.